सांसों में तू ख्वाबों में तू
Chapter 5, Bubble Forest. The room remains quiet, the air still thick with tension. Taeyang slowly closes her eyes for a moment, taking a breath. Then she steps forward, gently. Her hands reach out. She grabs Jungkook's arms, trying to straighten him from his bow. "You're elder than me. You shouldn't bow in front of me like this." But Jungkook doesn't move, still bent slightly, still stubborn, still desperate. Taehyung bites her lip. Irritation begins to rise inside her, but it isn't anger, just frustration. All right, fine. The moment the word leaves her mouth, Jungkook lifts his head instantly. Too fast. The sudden movement startles her. Her balance slips. She tilts sideways, almost falling. But Jungkook reacts immediately. His hands grab her arms, steady, firm, holding her before she can fall. For a moment, they are too close, very close. Their faces only inches apart. Their breathing uneven, eyes locked, neither of them speaks. The silence stretches. Then reality crashes in. Both suddenly step back. Quickly, distance restored. The intense atmosphere disappears. Now the room feels awkward. Taehyung clears her throat, trying to regain composure. I'll think about whether I should join your company or not." Jungkook nods quickly, still slightly flustered. "Oh, okay." He turns slightly, picks up his laptop again, holding it close, then looks at her again. "See, can you teach me now?" Taehyung raises one eyebrow, clearly unimpressed. "At this time? No, but I can give you some homework." Jungkook's eyes immediately light up, bright, excited. "Sure, teacher." Taehyung quickly turns around, so he won't see her smile. She tries very hard to look mature, serious, but her lips twitch. He's still such a child. Why does he think of himself as so mature? Then, a mischievous idea appears in her mind. If he wants me to join his company so badly, should I ask him something in return? Can I still call him Cookie like before? The thought almost makes her smile. And suddenly, in her imagination, everything freezes. The room becomes still. Time pauses. Jungkook stands frozen in place like a statue. Suddenly, another version of Taehyung appears beside her, her good side, floating slightly, arms crossed, expression strict. Blackmailing someone isn't good behavior. Taehyung blinks. Before she can respond, another figure appears on the other side. Her bad side, a darker version, more dramatic, more confident. "Tae, he's asking you to do something against your will. So, if you ask for this much in return, he must agree. Isn't that fair?" Taehyung tilts her head slightly, thinking. He is forcing me emotionally, and I really would love to call him Cookie again like before. A soft memory echoes inside her mind, a whisper. "Cookie." Her expression softens. Nostalgia flickers in her eyes. Then, she straightens confidently. Decision made. She waves both her hands dramatically in the air. Dismissed. Instantly, both her good and bad sides vanish, like smoke. Time resumes. The room returns to normal. Jungkook blinks, completely unaware. He has no idea about the entire courtroom drama that just happened inside her head. Taehyung crosses her arms, looking at him thoughtfully now. A tiny, dangerous smile slowly forming. Jungkook still doesn't know what's about to come next. Morning sunlight spills softly through the mansion windows. The house is already awake. Taehyung slowly walks downstairs, stretching lazily, yawning, her hair slightly messy from sleep. She looks half awake. In the living area, Jin and Jisoo are already sitting, finished with their morning work. Both of them immediately look toward the stairs, the moment Taehyung appears. "Tae, why so late today?" Rubs her eyes, still sleepy. "Your son didn't let me sleep." She casually walks past them, heading toward the kitchen, completely unaware. Behind her, Jin and Jisoo freeze. Both women slowly turn their heads toward each other, eyes wide. Then, their expressions slowly shift, mischievous, very mischievous. Jin clears her throat, trying very hard to act normal. What did he do?" Jisoo leans slightly closer to Jin, whispering. When you know what she means, then why ask? At that exact moment, something clicks inside Taehyung's mind. Her eyes widen instantly. She stops mid-step, turns around quickly. "No, don't take it the wrong way." Both women blink, innocently. Taehyung continues quickly. "We were just practicing art, and nothing else." Jin and Jisoo nod, very dramatically, almost exaggerated. "Ah, of course. Yes, yes, we understand." Taehyung stares at them, suspicious. Then she sighs deeply. "I don't think they understood what I meant. Clearly, they've already taken it the wrong way." She rubs her forehead slowly. Explaining will only make it worse. Definitely worse. Finally, she gives up. Turns around again and walks into the kitchen without asking anyone. She takes a plate herself, serves her own breakfast, pulls a chair, sits down, and begins eating quietly. Meanwhile, from the living room, Jin and Jisoo watch her, completely amused. Jisoo leans closer again, whispering. She's getting used to this house. Now she's not even asking us to serve her. Jin's smile widens, warm, proud. Yes, yes, she nods proudly, then whispers softly. She's our soon-to-be daughter-in-law. Both women look at each other. Their eyes sparkle with excitement. Then they quietly chuckle together. The sound reaches the kitchen. Taehyung pauses mid-bite, looks up, toward the living room, confused. What happened? Meanwhile, Kendo Enterprise. The large glass windows of the cabin stretch from floor to ceiling. Beyond them, the city moves endlessly below, cars flowing like tiny streams, buildings rising in silent competition. Inside the cabin, the atmosphere is focused. Files lie open across the sleek desk, concept boards lean against the walls, digital tablets glow softly on the table. Jungkook sits beside the desk, his laptop open in front of him. The screen lights up his face. Across from him, his assistant stands attentively. Jungkook tilts the laptop slightly, showing the screen. He zooms in on the digital artwork. This is her art. She helped us yesterday. She even taught me. The assistant leans closer, studying the artwork carefully. His eyes scan the lines, the textures, the details. Slowly, his brows begin to furrow. Sir, I have seen this type of art style somewhere. Jungkook lifts his eyes, looking directly at him. Where? Do you remember? The assistant squints slightly, still staring at the screen, trying to dig through his memory. But before he can answer, Cook suddenly straightens. A thought interrupts him. But wait, why are we discussing this? Many artists already have similar kinds of art styles. The assistant nods slowly, but still, I have definitely seen this art somewhere. Jungkook leans back slightly, his attention returning to the bigger picture. Anyway, if she says yes to me, we can arrange a training camp for everyone. His eyes drift back to the artwork, thoughtful. Let her agree first, then we'll tell everyone about this. The assistant blinks, still staring at the screen. But his focus hasn't moved. His eyes remain fixed on the laptop, his mind clearly somewhere else. Jungkook notices immediately. His eyes narrow slightly. Where is your attention, Minhyuk? Minhyuk suddenly stiffens. His back straightens instantly. Sorry, I'll pay attention to what you say. Jungkook studies him carefully. A quiet second passes. Then he nods. Good. He reaches forward, closes the laptop completely. Let's get to our work. Minhyuk nods again. He begins gathering the files from the desk, but as he lifts them, his eyes drift back. Once more, toward the closed laptop. His thoughts remain stuck there. That art style. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before. The thought lingers, unanswered. Meanwhile, shooting set. Bright studio lights flood the massive indoor set. White beams of light bounce across reflective panels. Cameras stand firmly on heavy tripods. Crew members move quietly between equipment, adjusting lights, checking angles. Today, the atmosphere feels unusually calm, smooth. At the center of the set, Yoongi stands in position, dressed in a sharp dark suit, his posture straight, his gaze cold. He is fully inside his role, playing the cold, calculating villain. Behind the monitors, the director watches intensely, eyes locked on the screen. Yoongi delivers his final line of the scene, his voice calm, but chilling. The camera slowly zooms in, his eyes grow colder, sharper. The moment stretches. A second of silence fills the set. Then, cut immediately. The tension dissolves. Crew members relax, shoulders drop, some quietly clap. Perfect. That was amazing. Relieved smiles appear among the staff. Because recently, Yoongi had been different. Unpredictable, moody, irritated, canceling shoots, postponing scenes, creating tension across the set. But today, everything went smoothly. No arguments, no complaints, no sudden mood swings. To the crew, it almost feels like witnessing a miracle. The hero actor of the drama walks closer, a polite smile on his face. But suddenly, Yoongi grabs his arm without warning and pulls him into a hug. The actor freezes instantly. The entire set watches. The hero actor awkwardly looks around, still trapped inside Yoongi's hug, completely confused. Nearby, Yoongi's assistant stands holding a tablet, a young girl. She stares at the scene in shock. Her mouth slowly opens. No one can guess his mood. She shakes her head slowly, still staring at Yoongi. It's a fact. Soft afternoon light filters through the tall windows. The room is quiet, peaceful. Taehyung sits near the work table, her posture slightly leaned forward, focused, completely absorbed. The glow of her laptop screen reflects in her eyes. Beside the laptop, a trackpad rests neatly. In her hand, a pen moves swiftly. On a sheet of paper beside the laptop, she scribbles the idea that suddenly came to her mind. Quick strokes, sharp lines, smooth curves. Everything looks practiced, effortless, as if her hands already know what to do. Before her mind even finishes the thought, her hands move almost independently, multitasking. One hand rests on the keyboard, occasionally pressing keys, the other hand continuously drawing flowing shapes on the paper. Her eyes remain fixed on the screen, focused. The digital canvas on the laptop is zoomed in. Only a small section visible, the full artwork still hidden. Minutes pass quietly. Then, she pauses, her left hand stops typing. She reaches toward the glass beside her, lifts it, takes a small sip of water, a soft exhale escapes her lips. Then, she returns to work. Just then, her phone lights up, a silent notification appears. She pauses again, her pen stops moving. She picks up the phone, unlocks it, opens the group chat. Messages are pouring in. New notifications appear rapidly. Hey, I heard that idiot jerk went to Canada. Sinan. No. He is not there. One of his friends said he is in Germany. Don't trust them. They are, after all, his friends. Taeyang's fingers hover above the keyboard. For a moment, she thinks. Then she types. Asuna. I just want to find him. Gather correct info, please. Almost immediately, replies appear. Yuki. Hey, Tae. You don't have to say please to us. A small smile appears on Taeyang's face. Soft, warm. She replies with an emoji. Another message appears. Sinan, we are glad that you are happy there. Don't worry about Uncle. Her smile widens slightly. Another notification pops up. Maybe she is busy in her work. How do you know? He knows everything about our Tay-Tay. Taehyung's eyes narrow playfully. She types quickly. Shut up. Almost instantly, a reply. Then another. Ha ha. Taehyung chuckles softly. A quiet, amused sound. She places the phone back beside her laptop. Her attention returns to the work in front of her. Meanwhile, her phone continues buzzing silently beside her. The group chat keeps flooding with messages, notifications, even calls, but she ignores them. A small smile still rests on her lips, her focus now completely returned to her art. Meanwhile, Nintai Enterprise's desk. At her desk, Jimin sits leaning slightly forward in her chair. Both elbows rest on the table. 2 fingers from each hand press against her temples. Her eyes are tightly shut, as if forcing her brain to produce an idea. Her monitor glows in front of her. The screen filled with unfinished drafts, half-written notes, scattered ideas, nothing complete. She groans softly. The colleague sitting beside her desk notices. He glances at her struggle, then chuckles. Hey, Jimin, what happened? No ideas? He leans back in his chair, watching her dramatic pose. Do you really think pressing your head like that will magically create ideas? Aha! Jimin slowly opens one eye, her expression tired, drained. Perhaps. Then she lazily winks at him. Just then, footsteps approach. A man walks toward their desks. He stops right in front of them. The moment he sees them talking, his expression hardens. Hey, is this the time for you to waste chatting? Immediately, the nearby row of employees stiffens. Keyboards start clicking faster. People suddenly pretend to work harder. Sure, only our department's work is pending. Have you even seen our Gantt chart lately? He points toward the large screen mounted on the wall. Project progress displayed clearly. It's all red, completely red. When exactly do you plan to turn it green, huh? His glare sweeps across everyone. Sharp. You fools. Jimin quickly straightens in her chair, her posture suddenly professional. Manager, don't worry, we were actually discussing the same thing. The manager crosses his arms. Suspicious. Oh, really? Then tell me, what's your plan? Jimin freezes. We are. Still thinking about it. The manager's eyes narrow. You liar. Do your tasks instead of gossiping like school kids. He shoots one last angry look across the desks, then turns, his footsteps heavy as he walks away. The moment he disappears around the corner, the entire atmosphere changes. Shoulders relax. Employees who had been silently pretending to work finally breathe again. Jimin slumps back in her chair, exhausted. Her colleague leans closer, whispering quietly. Colleague, that man thinks shouting increases productivity. Jimin rolls her eyes. Jimin, if shouting created ideas, he would have been a genius by now. A few nearby coworkers snort quietly, trying to suppress their laughter. Soon, the small group begins bad-mouthing the manager, muttering complaints under their breath. Clearly, a daily ritual the moment he leaves. Jimin rubs her temples again. Her gaze returns to the monitor, staring at the unfinished drafts on her screen. The sky outside the window has begun to darken. Evening light spills softly across the room. Hours have passed, quietly, without interruption. Taung finally leans back in her chair. A slow breath escapes her. On the laptop screen, her finished artwork glows beautifully. Colors balanced, lines precise, the entire composition polished, but she isn't done yet. Carefully, she begins placing the artwork into different frame layouts. Adjusting presentation drafts. Her cursor moves across the screen. Margins shift slightly. Background tones change. She studies each version carefully, ensuring every detail looks perfect for online display. A few more adjustments, another check, then another. Finally, satisfied. She uploads the artwork across multiple platforms. Before pressing the final post button, she pauses. Her cursor moves to the corner of the artwork, and she adds her watermark. Asuna magic, her finger hovers over the post button for just a second. Then, click, the post goes live. A quiet sense of satisfaction crosses her face. She closes the editing software, shutting down all the extra windows she had been using. For a moment, she stretches her arms high above her head, her shoulders loosen. Finally, she reaches for her phone, about to put it aside, but suddenly, a thought crosses her mind. She pauses, unlocks the phone again, her fingers tap quickly, opening a familiar chat. The username appears on the screen. Kirito. Her fingers begin typing. Hey, I want to ask you something. The reply appears almost instantly, as if the other person had been staring at the screen. Waiting. Yes. What's it? Taeyoung hesitates slightly. Her fingers hover above the keyboard. Then, she types again. Someone is asking me to join his company. Should I join it? A short pause fills the chat window. Then, a reply appears. Kirito, a boy? Taeyoung raises one eyebrow at the screen. A faint, amused expression crosses her face. She types quickly. Asuna. Yeah, but that doesn't matter for me, right? A typing indicator appears. 3 small dots blinking. But before he can respond, she continues typing. I am confused if I should join his company or not. The typing indicator disappears. A few seconds pass, then the message arrives. Kirito. Don't. Taeyoung can't help it. A small smile appears, the bluntness of the reply amusing her. But slowly, that smile fades. Her thoughts drift. A memory flashes in her mind. From last night, Jungkook's teary eyes, the image lingers, quiet, heavy, she bites her lip. Her fingers slowly return to the keyboard. Asuna, but he requested me many times. Almost immediately, another message appears. You don't like to work under someone, isn't it? Then how will you do this? Taeyoung groans softly. Frustrated, she drags her fingers through her hair, leaning back slightly in the chair, then she types again. That's where I'm stuck. A short pause fills the chat. The typing indicator appears again. Then, the message arrives. Kirito, Tae, listen to your heart. Taeyoung stares at the screen. Her eyes linger on the message, her voice barely above a whisper. Listen to my heart? If you enjoyed listening, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for upcoming chapters and new stories.